We're at a crossroads. From time to time, a section of rail needs repair, but that doesn't mean the whole line needs replacement. The same way being proud of your history doesn't mean you're stuck in the past. No, we're not stuck. We hear the whistle blowing and we're inspired. Inspired by the legacy of the people who transformed this terrain into a rail yard that supplied America with the ore needed to win world wars. We're inspired by our unshakable identity, hanging tight like David facing down Goliaths, and we're moved by stories of our community's kindness. No matter who needs help, neighbors pitch in and get the job done. Hushed and humble, there are more at play than pontification. But don't for 1 second think that means Proctor is a simple small town. It was built as a company town, and it continues down the tracks of time. And this rail revival is our destination.
Just look at the logo.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Proctor Pizza. Whoa, we got some feedback. Whoa, that's a lot. Well, I'm glad you don't, but I'm going to turn mine down just a hair, just in case that's what I'm picking up. But welcome into Proctor Pizza for tonight's Slice of Proctor, brought to you by the Reed Foundation, the Rails Endowment for Academic, Art, and Athletic Development, our primary sponsor tonight. Ted Keevan along with Chad Brenna and Tim Rotary. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
I'm great.
I'm wonderful. I mean, I'm glad that Tim's back from special assignment.
I knew that was going to get brought up, but hey, whatever. Yeah, we're glad to have Tim back here and being part of what we have going on. You know, let's just jump right into it. We missed 2 weeks, so lots to cover in the world of sports and other things going on here in Proctor. So let's just jump right to our first guest, because I know she's starving and has to get home because she's wasting away to nothing.
While she's sitting in a restaurant.
Right, exactly. We have Lynn Peterson with us from the Reed Foundation. Lynn, how are you tonight?
I'm great, except I'm starving. How are you, Ted?
I'm perfect. I get to be here and hang out with all of you right here in Main Street, Proctor. I'm excited.
Me too.
Oh, I know where the echo's coming from. I left my phone on trying to see where it was at. That's where the echo's coming from. Hey, look, that fixed that. Hey, technical difficulties that I just fixed. So let's jump right into it. Lynn, why don't kind of give us an overview of the Reed Foundation, what your mission statement is, and what the successes look like, because you guys have done really well in the last few years as it continues to grow, and even through COVID and with the candlelight videos and stuff like that.
Well, thank you, Ted. Nice to see you, gentlemen. It definitely is.
Is it really?
It couldn't get any better unless my Ted were here.
Yeah, right.
That is true. Right. That is true.
So the Reed Foundation began about 26 or 27 years ago. I'm trying to think of when our 25th anniversary was. You know, there's sort of the COVID haze that we all have, and years are not always delineated very well. But Reed began by a board member who decided that we needed a foundation in the Proctor area to fund things that the school district didn't fund. And so its initial idea was that people would apply for grants, and then Reed would fund them based on the arts, academics, and athletics. The first money came from the soda machines that were in the school, because we didn't have any way to raise money at that time. And so they garnered a few $100s, and people applied for them, and one of the first ones was Patty Muckala. Patty did a cooperative with it was Railview, I believe, where she took her 8th graders over there. They interviewed the kids, and then she wrote little biographies about them, and then went back and shared them. So it was really one of our first great community outreach activities that we had. Since then, it was really cool, and people still talk about it. So
that's the thing. I mean, Reed is more than just the school. It's the whole community can be involved and get grants and things like that.
Yes, and we have granted to scouting groups. We've done. We just did the Twig Zamboni.
Night to Shine.
Night to Shine. We did benches at the softball fields. We've done all kinds of activities. So if you're a community member, don't think it's just for school people. Go onto our website at read.org and look at the criteria and come up with a good creative idea that supports lifelong learning in the Proctor area. And we would love to take a look at your grant.
And what are your grant windows? Like, what's that time frame?
Funny you should ask. I was just going to mention that. We have a granting window in the fall, usually in October, and then we have another one in February-ish. We always post it on the website and the school district website. And then we also have grants in between. So maybe somebody missed the February one. They can't wait until October, and so then we'll grant something in between. So we do have some discretionary grants. Not a lot, but we do have some. We just did a thing with the fire department. Got some equipment for them. So we do all kinds of things, as well as support classroom activities.
How much can someone get? What's the maximum amount you can get from Read?
$1,000 per grant.
Okay.
We generally don't grant to the same groups, so more than once. But if they have another type of activity, it's not the same thing, then we'll grant it again. Do you like the way I move my hands?
I do.
To empty.
Yep.
That's why it's not a visual medium,
Thank
folks.
goodness.
Yeah. You talk about the groups, you talk about the money, and I can talk firsthand about what Read has done for Rails TV. I mean, the things that you helped us, that Read helped us get started, and even to grow our program, but even just this last year with helping us with the marketing piece and helping us get our students jackets to wear to stay warm and dry and that kind of stuff. But also being a member on the Night to Shine committee and getting the help from you guys for our special needs prom and stuff like that. The things that you all do in this community. From that to what's that game that you guys helped with at Bayview, the wood box thing out in the I forget what
I can't remember what it's called either, but I can see it.
Right,
and that was a Boy Scout group that did that.
Yeah, and I remember that. And
Jenga?
just no, it's like almost like a round wooden tall walled pool, but they use a ball and you got to try to get it out.
Okay.
I just can't remember what the name of it was, but I know that we that was part of that 2020 candlelight deal where we they presented that with a video, and I just thought, wow, the different things that not only was it helping the Boy Scouts do their thing, but it was at Bayview, and then it was giving the kids another piece to have at recess and in the summer and things like that.
The Gaga Ball Pit.
Gaga Ball,
Gaga.
that's what it is. Yeah, Gaga
like,
Ball.
not Lady Gaga.
Not Lady Gaga. Now, that would have been a whole different grant.
That's true.
Just throwing that out there.
That's true.
So how much in
That's
each
true.
grant period is available? In terms of, you've built over time the amount you can give out.
Yep. Generally, it's about $5,000 to $6,000 twice a year. And sometimes, you don't have to apply for 1,000. You could apply for 500, for 300. But that's generally what it is. And it's we invest our money in different areas, and that's the interest that we get from the Duluth Superior Foundation. So that's one of our places where we invest. They give us the interest money, and then we pour it back into the community.
So how does go ahead?
So, sorry, Tim.
No.
If somebody wanted to make a donation to the Read Foundation, how would they do that?
You can either go on our website. We have an account there where you can do it directly. You can contact one of our board members. You can write a check and send it to the school, and they will make sure it's in there. And then you will also be recognized as a sponsor. We always have our contributors in our newsletters. Yep. And you can come to our events.
Oh, and the dinner this year was great.
Oh, thank you. We were glad to be back in person. This was our most well-attended and our most lucrative fundraising event that we did. We did over 30,000.
Wow.
The dessert alone was over 4,000. Our dessert auction.
Well,
That's awesome.
we had to dig deep. We wanted the big chocolate cake, but Mr. Hine decided that he was going to double our offer.
Yes.
So unfortunately, we got stuck eating cheesecake.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I heard the
'cause that-
dinner with chefs was a big hit.
Oh, it was a big hit.
Johnny Martin.
And that will take place in August. I just found out from Mr. Martin today that they have they've collaborated, and he has we didn't know this at the time. If you were at the event, you saw John Martin at his finest.
Oh, yes.
I wasn't there, and I heard about his finest.
But what he did, the things that he said, the chefs he said he was going to bring in to help with this dinner, they're actually doing it. We thought it was just a gag. No, he's doing it. He's got a sommelier for the wine, so each course will be paired with a different type of beverage, and so he's got some top-notch people coming in.
And what did that bring in? Do you
I
remember?
believe it was 1,600.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You couldn't pay me that to go to his classroom,
when you-
let alone his
Well, if you
house.
figure, I mean, the
It's for
dinner
8.
from those chefs, 8 people, 1,600. That's pretty.
No, I'm just saying. Wow, that's
Inexpensive.
that's a great haul, especially
Well, Ted, it
what-
was just like this during the bidding. It was back and forth. And
Yeah.
It's just like,
between two groups,
Between-
or two people.
yep.
Wow, that's
Well,
awesome.
it started out as more, but then they kind of drifted away, and then it was the tennis match. Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it?
Who's going to flinch first?
Well,
Yeah.
didn't the dinners you and Ted offered go for that much?
No, not quite.
almost.
Not quite. No, not quite. But
You're so kind.
What? No, I'm serious.
no, we did.
They
we,
did.
we,
No,
we
I know.
sponsored
They
several
were
dinners at
popular
our
things,
house.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys put on a good spread all the time. So.
Thank you. That's so nice.
Maybe you needed to get a little more
A little more pizzazz.
A little,
Sommelier.
little more showy.
Little showmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need a sommelier involved.
I should have. Yes.
Just don't have any of us come to it. We'll scare the bidders away. Don't-
Oh no.
So
oh
what-
no.
So
Not
other than
afraid.
the candlelight dinner, what other events bring in money for Reed that during the year?
We used to do the tasting event, but I don't know that we're going to do it again this year. With the restaurants struggling, just to get back on their feet, to ask them to then donate food to us for an event is, I see a hand up. I see one. Well,
That was a great event, though. For
It was.
a guy like
It-
me to go down and just.
Guy like us.
absolutely.
oh, it was fun. You would buy your ticket, and then we would have, 15, 20 vendors, and you could just go from table to table and eat as much as you wanted to eat all evening. And it was wonderful. However, the depot, the rental for the facility is
Yeah.
much more than it used to be. So it just wasn't good. We've also done a golf outing in the summer. We haven't done that for maybe 5 or 6 years. And we had a circus one year. Were you at the circus, Tim?
Yep.
Yep, we did that at Spirit Mountain.
Don't you remember? He was one of your clowns. Ooh, I got a rim shot.
Good one.
Let's go. Oh, wait on. Now they got to hear it.
And that's thank you to the new podcast machine.
Yes.
There you have it.
Purchased with Reed funds.
Yeah.
No, this was not, this was not with this one was not with Reed funds. I have a question in regards to how you pick your prizes for your welcome back staff events for your Reed contributors. I'd like to know that
Bitter about something, I guess.
because I remember I was out of the room and I remember a gift that supposedly was just there by happenstance, which I'm going to go, no. On a troll doll dressed in a prison outfit for some reason. How do you choose your gifts like this?
Well, nobody saw my hand
You know,
gesture. But
not a visual medium.
no, that's true. It was just tapping my cheek, though. That was my hand gesture. Our Reed board members, and I should have mentioned that our teachers and staff are a great contributor to Reed. We have payroll deductions, and they have been extraordinarily generous over the years. So at our back to school event, we like to kind of kick it up a little bit and thank them by providing some unbelievably
Yes.
interesting gifts. So it's kind of a go through your house. What are things that you think other people might enjoy more than you enjoy it? And
It's
so
like a
our-
white elephant thing.
kind
Yeah,
of
white elephant, yeah.
kind of, or we could call it the big rail.
Big
We
rail.
could call it that.
I like it.
Get on board.
Yep.
Well, I think everybody needs lightsaber salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah.
I don't know who wouldn't.
It just so happened someone
I
needed
have
a
'em.
troll doll with.
With a prison outfit on.
outfit.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, yes. And so our board members garner gifts. Sometimes we'll ask people to donate, but oftentimes they're from the heart and from your home, from hearth and home. And we bring them in and we line them up on the front of the stage. And then as people's names are collected or selected, they can come up and select a gift.
It's like Price is Right when they get
It kind of, the kids come on
run down to
They
the front
do.
to pick the prize.
And you wouldn't believe some of the junk people are happy taking back to their homes.
Yeah, like this year, I was like, Glenn got picked before me this year, and I wanted that Nixon
The hat.
political hat,
hat.
for the election. I wanted it so bad. I thought for sure when he got called before me, he was going to run down there and grab that. He walked right past. I'm like, yeah, it's hanging in my room right now.
Yeah, I know.
Right next to my troll doll.
Yeah, good.
Well, prison outfit.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
One thing I appreciate about Reed too is it honors kind of the history of our school and town. At the events, like during COVID when you did some of the video things, notable alumni and people that spoke and talked about what Proctor meant to them, and that's just kind of cool.
And we do have, we just scratched the surface with the number of people who have been influential in this community, and they continue to give back, which is just heartwarming for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we always talk about it even on here, that, just how great a community this is. And
it is.
We talked at length that first show, I said it right out because you guys, you're from here and I'm not, the whole tree branching thing. I've been in the district now for 10 years, and I'm just excited that I get to be here and be part of this and be part of this, at least in that piece in this little niche here in Proctor, because it is a really special place.
It is. And I, too, am a transplant. But I came here, and I started out with drama and then taught here, and all of our children went to school here, and so I feel entrenched in the community.
Absolutely.
And that's a really great thing about Proctor.
And
one of many.
Being a school board member and a former teacher and just all the roles you've played, it's just your contributions to our town and school have been great. So
absolutely.
And she's now the Rails
She
TV
even gave me
junior.
a part in a play that I could always remember.
Oh, and for those of you who didn't attend that performance, Tim.
Do you have a copy of that somewhere?
I might. I'd have to look.
Track 22 or whatever.
I would have to
Track
look.
7.
I remember
7.
track 22.
Yeah.
Thought it was 7.
No, 22.
You're a transplant. You don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, the one at the city hall is 7.
I know. I realize.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that I hadn't lost something. Anyway, go back to your story. My bad.
Back to Tim. So Tim wanted to be a part, and he was an athlete, but Tim wanted to be a part of one of our performances, and so he became the character Sergeant Doppel. And so we contacted the police department to get a uniform for him, so we wouldn't have to purchase one. Let's just say it was a little snug, and we called it the sausage uniform.
Yeah. Let's just say I couldn't get any
Oh my God, I want that a sounder for
protective
that.
gear underneath.
I so want a sounder for that right now.
But Mr. Roweeder stepped up, and you could just tell there was future greatness with that one little
You even
step
let me
on
eat
the
donuts on stage.
I did. I let you eat donuts on stage. Yes. Yes.
Does it get any better than that?
No.
That was the beginning of his acting career.
Yes, right.
And now he's been pushed around in a wheelchair
Yes.
and drooled on himself. And
That was easy.
That was.
I was trained for that for years.
I love that when you said, Mr. Leary came to me and said, will I do this? I said, what I got to do, just sit in a wheelchair and let him push you around. Okay.
No acting experience required.
No.
That had to been tough,
Right.
though, because she didn't ask me to do that part. So that had to been a tough part. She must not have thought I could have done that.
Maybe it was
No
method
comment.
acting.
No
Method acting.
comment.
The other thing that you talked about just the contributions that Lynn has had. She is also another thing just to highlight before outside of the Reed piece is that she's also taken on Rails TV Junior at our elementary schools here at both Pike Lake and Bayview, and we've got all the equipment here and we've got it set up and we're doing trainings and.
It's
how cool
really
is that going to be?
It's so exciting to see young students and even the adults get excited about broadcasting and, again, sharing what goes on in our community and in our schools. And the more we can do that, the better off we are.
Yeah, Joe Cressel. I went over there to show Joe and They had stuff already set up, and I walked in, and I was like that little whiny Christmas kid, like, you open Christmas gifts without me? Just because I was like, I wanted to be like there and be part of that, but he was all in it and doing his thing, and the grin on his face the whole time yesterday was just super cool.
He's so excited.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever want to retire, though, because it seems like you're busier now than ever.
Well,
all these different projects.
This isn't about me, though. Let's talk about Reed.
But we were talking about you as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Pshaw.
Well, she's hungry. You need to get her home beat. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, next event coming up that we know of, or is that just next fall? Or?
We are planning for next year's candlelight dinner. I believe the date is February 16th. It will be down at the Graceland Ballroom because, because we have Dan Cox coming.
Nice.
And Dan Cox, I don't know if you all know who he is, but he is a world-renowned. I have to stop flailing. He's a world-renowned photographer, and when I was texting back and forth with him, Sherm Carlson was his contact, but I was texting back and forth with him, and he was in India doing a shoot, and he had been up in the Arctic doing a polar expedition, and so he will be our guest speaker next year. And we just outgrew Blackwoods.
Right.
The cool thing is Blackwoods will still be catering, so we haven't lost our commitment to Blackwoods. So
Can I make one request for the dinner next year?
No.
yes.
No squash, no zucchini.
Really?
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
Not a crowd pleaser?
Not for this guy.
Okay.
I mean, and then to make it worse, I had Rory sitting
And
next
more
to me.
cake.
Oh, and more.
My concern with this whole thing is that you have one person out of a couple hundred that's asking for no squash or no zucchini. I'm not sure that's going to get a whole lot of thought.
Well, I'm just saying.
But we can talk about vegetable options. Nothing
What
is
would you
beyond.
rather have?
Huh?
What would you rather have?
I don't know, broccoli, cauliflower.
Okay.
See, a broccoli
Lima
medley might be
beans.
nice.
Well, anything but squash, man.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are good.
Let's go. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, who wouldn't love a good
Roasted.
roasted, the best.
Wrapped
little
in
crispy
bacon.
skin.
That's great. And we have gone off the rails here at
Once
the
On a
again.
Slice of
crazy
Proctor.
train.
Can you bring us back?
I can bring us back. What we're going to
Thank
do
you.
is we're going to thank Lynn for being here. Thank you for being here and representing the Reed Foundation, and also just like Tim said, everything you do in our district and in our community. What you do is nothing short of amazing and awesome, and we are all very thankful that we have you as part of it.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
very
Classed
kind.
up our show tonight a little
Thank you.
bit.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Did I?
Because Lynn, it's going to go downhill from
It
here.
is.
Yeah.
But we're going to start talking weather and sports, and everybody's going to go, and we're done listening for
right.
tonight.
Yeah, well, you don't
Well,
want
no, they can't be done listening, Ted. We have the VFW coming
Yeah,
in.
Al Young going to be
And
coming on.
I'm looking at your agenda, and I would stay tuned.
Yeah, I would
Nice.
agree.
Yeah.
I
would.
would agree.
Because if you miss this, people will be talking about it tomorrow,
Yep.
and you'll be out in the cold.
Right.
Oh, and the temperature is going to drop tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
I like to segue.
That was a great segue.
You own a Segway?
No, but I do have a scooter.
Yes, she does.
See what I did there?
yeah, I did see what you did there.
Another one. So
All right.
thank you again.
Yes,
and
thank you.
and once again, thank you to the community for supporting Reed. And please go on our website, look at what we do, and think about a grant. Look for a need. It's our mission is to support lifelong learning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Lynn.
Thank you.
We'll be back right after a message from a couple of our sponsors. Be back.
I chose Heritage Window and Door because of their reputation and because of their renewal Anderson windows that they have. And their workmanship was fantastic.
I'm so impressed.
Your home is your largest investment. Don't waste your money on cheaper windows. These are the best. It's my money, and I'm going to spend it where it's going to do me the best good, and it happened to be Heritage Window and Door.
They really know how to treat a customer.
This has been an excellent experience.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine.
Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend.
Problem gone.
Thank you.
That's crazy. But I hate to do this to you, but there was an audio issue, and we got to go right back.
Audio issue.
There was an audio issue. I just got a text message that there was an audio issue, and so let's just rewind just a little bit. We were talking with Lynn Peterson in regards to the Reed Foundation and things going on. Then we jumped to weather, talked about some safety out in the road. So go ahead and hit your little PSA again for us real quick.
Oh, just with it warming up, be mindful of, kids playing outside, bouncing balls rolling into the road, but bicycles, motorcycles, dogs, deer, raccoons, squirrels, rabbits. Tim.
I know.
Tim.
Well, I know throughout the winter it was hard to see at intersections with the big high banks. So now that it's melted a little, hopefully that'll be easier for people to see as they're.
Well, in just the last couple of days here at the shop, we got the door propped open because it's hot out and the air's not in yet. I mean, listening to some of the cars go by here, it's like, holy smokers.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday when I swung by about the show, and Tim, I'm sure you kind of hear some of that from up your way as well. But man, the semis, they're not doing 30 in any means.
No.
I saw a student up at the school today. They were playing around and chasing each other and almost just got absolutely nailed on Ugstead. So just, keep your eyes open, pay attention to what's going on, and let's make sure everybody gets home safely every day.
Absolutely.
I only have a couple things, and we're going to turn it over to you guys for sports. Rails TV, our scheduled drop here coming in hopefully in the next few days, hopefully by Friday, depending on what's going on over at Eggerdall Memorial Field. We just don't want to post that schedule and then have everybody wondering why we're not broadcasting this, that, or the other thing. Most people would understand, but some people just don't get that. With the weather, we just can't, with that field not set up. But there's that. And then we're looking at Little League-wise. Sunday the 23rd, if you're an adult or 13 or older, if you're looking at wanting to be an umpire for Proctor Little League this year, we will be having a umpire clinic. Hopefully we'll be outside having that.
One.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be having our umpire clinic outside where we can actually show lines and everything else instead of trying to fabricate it up in the turf facility, which, by the way, side note, saw the turf being delivered today for the new turf surface that's going to be going in up at the turf facility.
Nice.
You got any words on that one?
It's sections. It's not a roll. It's
like
Did you see it?
Panels.
It's like 3x3 or 4x4 panels.
Are you taking the old stuff home, putting it in your yard so you don't have to mow?
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think you want any of that.
Why?
It's pretty used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
all right. Then.
He doesn't have to mow grass.
Yeah. He doesn't do it anyway.
Put it in my basement so when it's wet, it just
It grows?
yeah.
And then that's awesome. So look to the Proctor Area Youth Baseball's site. You can Google Proctor Area Youth Baseball, and we'll have a link on there to sign up as an umpire, and you will get an email in regards to that clinic.
Ted, is that a voluntary thing, or do they get paid to umpire?
That is a paid position depending on your level. The fee is different depending when you're at our higher levels. You're getting paid the higher dollar at the lower levels. We also have what we call a first-year umpire program for our majors that they'll be doing the rookies that are right below them. They'll be getting just a small stipend as we work with them. And we've got great mentors like Josh Monreal and stuff that'll be coming out and being mentors with the kids, and they'll make a little bit there. But we've got our big tournament. If you're looking to make some money and you know how to ump, and our tournament the last weekend of June. We got guys that come out and make anywhere from $600 to about $900 in 3 days. So it's a pretty good deal, and it's a pretty good show, and they feed you, so that's even better. You're not even putting money out of your pocket to eat. So that'll be coming up. You can go again, Proctor Area Youth Baseball, and search that up. And right on there is a umpire clinic or an umpire button. If you want to umpire, click on that, fill it out. I'll get that information, and we'll get an email out to you about our upcoming camp.
Hey, before we go any further, we talked a little bit about drama with Lynn here. At the end of this month is our Drama Club's performance of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. It's a musical. It's on the 26th, 27th, 28th, I believe.
And you're in that one too, right?
Just as a cameo, yeah. Yeah, they're not going to ask you to spell, I don't think.
So you are the talent. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely put that on your calendar to go and support the Proctor High School Drama Club. 7 o'clock shows on the Friday and Saturday, and 2 o'clock show on that Sunday.
And I can piggyback off of that, too. Everybody that goes to that has a ticket for the spelling bee, any one of the shows, if they bring their ticket stub in here afterwards, they get $2 off a pizza.
Nice.
That's super cool. Yeah, I saw that email that Miss O'Leary sent out about that, or posted on Facebook about that. I got to throw a quick piece. You just got a text from Lynn Peterson, and she wanted to just, she forgot to talk about the fact that Reed and collaborating with the city to pay off the playground for everyone for $15,000 for that brand new playground up there by the fields. So that's another thing, another huge thing that, Reed has done to help within this community and, make it better for everyone.
Absolutely. There's a lot of great organizations in the community, that a lot of people might not know about. Reed is one of them, Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, being involved with the Night to Shine, just some of the events that all of these other groups help to put together and sponsor. I mean, we all come back to, Tim and I are lifers, and there's no place you'd rather be. I mean, why would you want to go someplace else? You have all these organizations in town that are willing to help everybody in the community, but not everybody in the community knows about the organizations that they're there to help. Right. So that's one of the reasons why we do this podcast.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we turn over to sports, just want to make sure we do thank our sponsors, the Reed Foundation, the Rails Endowment for Academic, Art, and Athletic Development, Irving Community Club Polling for Kids, Tamarack Building Supplies up on Highway 53 in Hermantown, Heritage Window and Door, Superior, Wisconsin, Wittes Trailer Sales in Esco, Stream Dudes for all your streaming needs, streamdudes.com. Great Lakes Office Solutions, the Rob and Barb Shaler Charitable Foundation, Audiology Concepts with 5 locations, Superior, Duluth, Grand Rapids, Edina, and Burnsville, Troy Service Center, and our home here for a slice of pizza. I'm hungry.
Slice of pizza.
I'm hungry. For a slice of Proctor is Proctor Pizza and Sub Shop. So thank you to all of our sponsors for everything they do. Now let's get into Timberwolves.
Hey, if I bring the roll of tickets in,
do I get a free pizza? That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure you know a guy.
You know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy.
We'll talk to his sister.
Yeah, exactly. The general manager. She makes all the rules. Let's jump into it. Let's talk Timberwolves. Let's talk Timberwolves. Coming off a loss last night in that 7-8.
That was garbage.
help me understand.
Okay, what do you want to understand?
Hold on. Time out. Let me just get one thing. 7-8 playoff game where they lost to the Lakers 102-108. Now it's yours.
It was dumb.
Walk me through this whole play-in thing. I'm not in the loop on
It's basketball.
why they do this or what's the purpose.
Just because it's another couple of games. It's you get.
So is the regular season over now?
Yeah, it's playoff time.
Okay.
And last night the Timberwolves played at the Lakers without Rudy Gobert because he got sent home.
At someone, or
well, he didn't swing at him. He punched him.
He punched him
He
good.
one of his teammates. I mean, okay. And then without Jaden McDaniel, who punched a curtain, and behind the curtain was a brick wall. You just can't make this stuff up. And the downfall, in my opinion, to the Wolves losing last night, they had, if they win that game, they get to play at Memphis, who I feel good about our chances against Memphis. Now we're waiting for the winner of the or loser of the Thunder Pelicans game. That doesn't bode well for us because if we win that game and end up with the 8 seed, we get to go to Denver.
So all this playing stuff to see what seed you end up with?
Only for 7 and 8.
Okay.
So they take 7, 8, 9, 10, and they play 2 games, and the 2 winners move on.
Yeah.
So the Timberwolves could just be out of the playoffs then
if they lose to, and they're going to probably end up getting the Pelicans because I can't believe that they're going to.
Well, that's okay. There's no Zion then, and then they just got to worry about.
What is the deal with him? Has he ever played since he's been drafted?
Yeah, he's played. He's a big, muscular, athletic guy, and he gets hurt.
Yeah, well, I know, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that just was.
No, that's
Every
good.
time I look at ESPN, something about Zion might be playing in 2 months.
Well, so what you're saying? No.
He done.
You were watching the wrong Sports Center.
The Ocho.
What you were watching was his Cat might
Dodgeball.
play sometime soon
Cat,
because he was that way for
Well,
2.5 months. Well, wait, is he playing or is he actually playing?
He's playing. He played well last night, but Anthony Edwards didn't have a very good game. I'm not a Lakers guy. I'm not a LeBron guy. Yeah.
We actually had a little bit of a debate about that in class today about the GOAT. What I told the guys was this. I said, here's the deal. LeBron may have stats and I may have numbers, but the problem that I do have with him is that he's never played hurt. He takes games off. If you want to talk about the GOAT in general, let's go to MJ, who never missed a game, who was beat on all the time and did his thing.
Okay, and let's take it a step further then, since we're going to get hate mail.
Wait, by the way,
give us a disclaimer.
The disclaimer's up. The views and thoughts or opinions are expressed of the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the Proctor Public Schools, the City of Proctor, or anyone else.
Okay, now that's out of the way, it's hard to determine who is the greatest of all time because of the different eras and the styles of basketball have changed. Now, in my opinion, I grew up in an era when I think that is when all the best basketball players played. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. Now,
right.
Michael Jordan did not have free agency and have teams built around him to win championships. Michael Jordan is 6 for 6. That's undisputed. He is 6 for 6. LeBron is 4 for 10. LeBron is 4 for 10 on teams that were built to win championships, and he's 4 for 10. And now I'm done talking about it. So I apologize if I hurt anybody's feelings out there or anybody's offended by that. But, thanks, Tim. There you go.
So
You got anything to add on that?
Well, my son's gotten me into soccer, and one of the things I love watching about soccer is Premier League.
Well, they're like LeBron. They fall down, they cry, and then they got to get carted off the floor.
So the guy doesn't even touch them, and they fall over and act like they're hurt. And I saw a highlight of LeBron the other day where he went up for a shot. No one touched him.
But he got the foul.
Yeah.
He's a flopper.
Flopper.
No, he didn't even flop on this one. He went up. There was this much space. Okay, visual medium. Sorry. There was probably 6.5 inches between the two of them.
He's a flopper.
He went up, falling towards.
If he was a fish, that's what he would be. He'd be a flopper.
He
He'd just lay there and
on
flop.
the ground. He didn't even.
He landed on his feet.
It was a fadeaway.
Yeah. And it wasn't even touched. How he was touched, not touched, and had the foul called. That official should be.
It was an and one, too, wasn't
it
it?
was. That official should be canned for life.
Canned for life?
Out of here.
You need to give yourself a wah, 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 wah. Canned for life.
He should be gone. That's cheating. He saw no foul.
You know what? Tim and I are filling out the entry form for the preposterous statement for you for he should be canned for life.
Yes. Preposterous.
Preposterous.
It's all fixed.
Of course it's fixed. How do you lose two guys in one game? One guy punching a teammate and the other one punching a curtain and breaking his hand punching a curtain. Of course it's rigged.
It's like on Major League where Harry Doyle's like, when they're fighting, he's like, oh, they're finally showing some signs of fight down there.
Wrong kind of fight there, boys. Wrong kind of fight.
Speaking of fights, at the end of the Wild game last night, there was a couple good scrums.
Yeah, Wild go in and lose.
I hope they get to play the Jets in the playoffs.
Oh, I do too. That'll be good times. But, boy, last night with a full cast didn't look good.
Did we lose Johansson? Did he get a rib injury or something?
Tim, we're Minnesota sports fans. We lose all the time.
Shush.
I'm
That's why we do, because the whole state starts wah, wah, wah.
I'm not wah, wah, wah.
No.
I'm realistic. Look at the sports franchises in the great state of Minnesota. The only one in the last decade that has been proven to be a winner, nobody pays attention to, and that's in the WNBA, the Minnesota Lynx.
Absolutely.
Nobody cares about women's professional basketball.
They had a great draft the other night.
That's your opinion.
That is my opinion.
And you know what opinions are worth.
Right there on the disclaimer on the screen, folks.
But, Tim, let's talk about the Wild. Coming in 46, 25, and 10, lost to the Jets that are sitting right behind them in the division in a contest last night where, you and I talked a little bit about the game the night before about, well, they had some guys sitting that night to play them at home for that final home game. But I got to tell you what, I can't really use the language that I was using with the TV in the bedroom last night, but it was pretty ugly.
Well, and you don't know. I mean, again, we're already locked in with the Blues, the Stars in the first round. So you don't know. I mean, you don't want to go out there and lay an egg on your final home game in the regular season, but
well, they did.
They did.
5-1 is not an egg. That's a whooping.
But again, it's they know what they're getting ready to do. The playoffs are a grind, and so did they stress a whole lot about the fact that?
Wow, we should get a hold of Ziggy Wolf and see if you can be like the PR guy for the Vikings when we get into the playoffs and lay the goose egg.
Well, here's my
playoffs.
Talking about playoffs. Here's the problem I have with that preposterous statement of yours.
Whoa.
Is this?
Oh, now we're firing that out there like it's just. Can you spell preposterous?
Can you?
Nope.
There you have it. Leave me alone. Anyways, what I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted here was that, the problem I have with it is if they know what they have and they knew that it could go that route, why not then sit those same guys or some others to rest them for Dallas?
Because it's the final home game. People paid the ticket to see
Then come
Kaprizov.
play the game and not give the home fans a loss.
You still made money.
Why does the NBA have? Why do they have rest nights that for $40 million? I'm sorry, if I'm paying $200 a ticket, I expect to see the guys play.
I'd rather them lose like that and then play great in the playoffs than be great at the last game and
lay an egg.
I agree. We got to do something, and the three gentlemen sitting listening to us here aren't going to understand our conversation here for a minute, but we have to do something against Dallas because Adam will never let us live it down.
Right.
We have a student who is a diehard Dallas fan, and every day he walks in and goes, he knows that the Wild lost last night, but he pokes his head into my door and goes, "How'd your Wild do?" And it's like, yeah, they sucked. They didn't do well. It was bad. It was ugly. So hopefully you're right. I hope you're right that they come out and they do something and that, that they have a plan in place and they look right. But last night did not sit real thrilled with me.
Foil the knuckles,
If we have time, we'll debate the Fleury versus Gustafson.
Gus Bus all the way. Gus Bus all the way.
We don't have time for that right now.
Oh, we got wait, hold on. Yeah, no, you're right. We don't. We'll come back to the Twins here in a little bit as, we have our next guest sitting here and don't want to make him sit here and, just listen to us meander and talk about bubbly stuff. But joining us right now is VFW Post 615 Commander Al Young joining us. For those of you listening, and we have 5 people, just so you all know.
It went up by 2.
It did. We have this great thing that's happening. We're talking a little bit ago about our community and how amazing it is. And one of the things that's going to help it get even better is we have the VFW Post that's moving into the old D-Rail building and going to be part of our community here. And I'm just super excited. So, Al, welcome, and how are you?
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. First off, I can't believe that you guys are actually friends because listening to you. This is by far the first time I've ever been on a podcast. I didn't even know what they were, but very interesting, and you guys are doing a great job, and you speak very well. I do have to correct you, though. VFW Post is 137.
See, I got it in my thing about it was, so I apologize.
No, you're fine. We are excited to be here. I am the current commander of the local VFW. We're moving from Lincoln Park. We did have an opportunity to obtain a building in Proctor, and we're very, very excited to be here.
That's awesome. Well, we're excited to have you here. Well, let me throw it. Let me throw it to you guys first. Got any questions? You lifelongers here.
Well, I understand, veterans of foreign wars. I mean, how has that organization evolved over the years in terms of with, the people, from the Vietnam, World War eras, and now the more recent people coming through the military?
We just spoke about this at an earlier meeting, and one of the things that was our parents and grandparents and everything, it was pretty much the VFW was a known, you were a member, you know, because most of them served World War II, Vietnam, Korea, and that, and most of those were, it was just an automatic. It was a for sure, you will be a member. And I think they were pressured by their father. And I mean, my grandfather was the post quartermaster of this post. So I do have history here. But the big thing is there's a lot more members, or a lot more eligible members for the Afghanistan and Desert Storm, Kuwait. There's many operations that are out there that are eligible to become members of the VFW. It just seems like the old stereotype of a VFW of the old bar. In fact, we were told about the old bar of the guys just sitting around talking about the old stories. You're not going to see that. I mean, you will see old veterans there. Don't get me wrong. Our mission is to serve veterans of foreign wars and communities, so we will do that, and we will be part of your community. The biggest thing, I believe, is we're taking 50% of the old, so we're going to take 50% of our memorabilia from down below the hill, and we'll bring that up here, and then we're going to have 50% new. So you'll see a lot of newer stuff in there that I think will excite, I guess, some of the younger members. They'll come in and look at something and say, hey, you know, I know what that is, and so we're trying to do that, but as a whole, most VFWs, yes, it's a big challenge to get the younger generation to become involved in it.
Yeah, so sorry, I want to just jump in. You know, you talk about the seeing it, really for to help support veterans, stuff like that. But you're talking about community. How is it? How can I, as a community member, I come from a military family, but I didn't get the opportunity to serve. But how can I come in and be part or visit or learn more about what you have going on there?
It will be. It will be open to the public. The only requirement, like I've stated, the only requirement is, as a guest, you sign the book and you come in and you're a guest of the VFW, and you can come in. We're not going to have the open hours that most establishments do. We will limit that a little bit, but we do put on a really, really good Friday meal that's open to the public. We will have a lot of fundraisers and stuff like that. We were talking about it earlier about supporting the Yellow Ribbon and saying, sure, you can use the facilities. We are here for the community, and if the community, we get requests from the community, and normally we encourage the members to do so, and we support those. So
awesome.
I personally think that the VFW coming into town here, I think it's a great thing, for several reasons. One, it'll be great to have the VFW partnered with Beyond the Yellow Ribbon, to help our current and former, service members when they need help. Just having you guys right down the street, I think, is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys around and in the community as well. Much as Eric, we talk about this stuff all the time. I don't know what my point was there, Ted. I just kind of started going off there, so sorry.
It's all right.
And we are doing a fundraiser for the Yellow Ribbon on May 6th coming up. Burger fundraiser. It's at-will donation. But this will probably be the last one in the current place we're doing it, because we will be teaming up with the VFW moving down the road.
And where will that be?
That will be at the Proctor Moose from 4 to 7, 8 o'clock, depending on how things go.
Very cool. Sorry, go ahead.
I also know that April is the month of the military child, honoring, children of military families and what they have to endure as their family members serve. So Friday is kind of what we call Purple Up Day across Minnesota. So wear purple to recognize and honor military children. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well played, T-Row.
You guys have all kind of touched on the Yellow Ribbon piece. A little more explanation just for those who are listening who may not have a full idea and understanding of what Beyond the Yellow Ribbon is.
So Beyond the Yellow Ribbon is along the same fundamentals of the VFW. The VFW is supporting their veterans, and with the Yellow Ribbon, that it gives the opportunity to more community people to be able to come in and support military too. It supports the kids, it supports deployed families, it supports veterans. It kind of encompasses a large whole of that community. And like Al and I were talking earlier, there's a lot of lines that are crossed between the VFW and Yellow Ribbon, and it's going to be very exciting, where we can work together and help the community out.
And do great things. I think we'll be able to do great things.
I'd love to do a Slice of Proctor from there when they get open.
I agree. But
from the new establishment?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'd love to come down and be part of that, and when you get open, because if I remember from the city council meeting, you guys are looking at June for a hard open.
No, we're going to do a soft opening in June.
Soft open. Okay.
We're running a little. We are, like I said, most of the work is being done. Well, all of it's being done by volunteers. So we're running a little behind where we wanted to be. So we're going to probably do a soft opening around June 1st just to make sure that everything's working. I don't want to open the doors and then fall flat on our face. So we want to make sure that everything works, and especially most of it is like our kitchen equipment and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that everything operates before we open to the public. But
well, Al, as long as you have some of this.
Yeah,
and the stuff that we put in it, you don't have to worry about falling flat on your face. Eric and I will make sure of that.
So you talked about a lot of this being volunteer based. What kind of a pitch could you make to those here in Proctor that either are listening live, or I know a lot of folks go back and listen. What kind of pitch could you make to see? You're talking about coming and being part of our community. What can our community do for you?
Actually, that's a really good question right now. We're working up there just about every day to try and
yeah, Ted's ordering dinner.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's trying to be covert. We're going to throw him under the bus.
Yeah,
No,
you're so awesome.
But we're right now we're finishing up on the inside, and hopefully, like I said, we're running a little behind. We need to find a plumber, but I think
We're on it.
I think Eric found one. So we're looking at that, and we got an HVAC system that's going to be looked at here in a couple of days. So we're going to make sure that everything works before we turn the switch on. But I do want to pitch real quick that the Post 137, and a little bit of history behind it is they were chartered in order. So we're the 137th VFW in the United States, and we are the largest. And most of them, it's now over 10,000. So, and we are the largest VFW in District 8, which is northern Minnesota. We're the largest north of probably Minneapolis, maybe North Branch or something in that range. But everything north of that, we are the largest VFW, and there used to be 7 of them in this community between Proctor and Duluth and West End, East End, whatever, and we're the last one.
Wow.
So we're the last surviving VFW.
Well, there you go. All you younger folks that we're proud to say, that we support you that served overseas. Go talk to Al. Become a member.
Absolutely.
Keep Post 137 going.
And it's not. It's funny because a couple of the gentlemen were talking about it, and they turned around and said, "We're not building this VFW for me. We're not building it for us,
Right.
Because we're going to be long gone, and we're building it for the next generation that's behind us. So the kids that are younger than us, feel free to come get involved and become part of the officers, and because." Next year, you may become the commander.
Al's like, end them out.
Well, I have been the commander for over 5 years, and one of my things was my mission when I took over is to find a new home and get it there, and we're there, and hopefully by the middle of the summer, the end of the summer, we'll be up full running, and we'll be part of the community that you guys can come in and feel free.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I know at
So
our previous meeting, you'd also mentioned that your membership has been growing from people that have found out that the VFW is moving into town.
It has. We a lot of our membership, like I said, we're in the West End, Lincoln Park area, and moving over the hill, a lot of the population lives over the hill that are involved in the military, and we are growing. We are I told Eric earlier, I said, you know, it normally takes us a few months to get to 100%. We're already at 100%, and we're going over. And we've had members from Proctor that have already joined, saying, "Hey, you're in our membership." So, and we welcome them. You know, come on in.
Yeah.
That's great.
Become involved. Yeah, absolutely.
The primary, right? Location. Yeah. I mean, it's not a false thing. It's 100% true.
And we haven't heard anything bad from the like I said. I told earlier, I said the only complaints we've had are the people that live 6 blocks from the old VFW.
Right.
They're like, I got to go to Proctor now. And then, but the majority of them, 99% of them are happy to come to Proctor. They really are. So we'll see
You
how
have a
it
place
goes.
in Proctor. Everybody does. Is the sign say?
That's what well, I don't know. Is
Yeah.
the sign going to be put back up by your dad's house
Well,
so
I
we
don't
know
know.
that that's the case?
Down. People keep missing that turn.
I don't know how they
How
missed
do you
that
miss
turn.
that corner?
I know, right? It's not like it's got wooded coverage and you can't see it. You can see it both ways.
And
It's
you got to
Usually
jump the
they hit-
curb.
Usually they hit the sign about 10 feet in the air.
I'm told that's going to get repaired eventually, but whatever. Yeah, so that I'm really looking forward to that. You know, as we all are, the support that you'll have from the community, I know will just be amazing. Because I mean, we got a huge population of students that are that have gone military, and families that are still here, and families that are going military still, or students that are still going military still. And you know, I found out about another one today that's is enlisting and going that route. So it's super cool that they'll have you know, to piggyback on what Tim said, a place in Proctor.
Absolutely.
So
we're excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Very cool. Well, that is Al Young, post 137 here, going to be in Proctor, but down in Lincoln Park, West End area right now. We want to thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
We got one thing for you.
And you know, when we see that you're open, I'll stay in touch. We'd love to do a broadcast from there and try to, you know, draw some people in to see what you have going on and see the new digs and show that, hey, we're here and we're present.
We appreciate it.
Very cool. Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
So that's Al Young, post 137 commander VFW that's moving up here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after a word from one of our sponsors.
Hi, I really need to take care of a car problem. Can I ask you a couple of questions? Can you handle all makes and models? Will you get me back on the road quickly? High-tech equipment? Competitively priced? Brakes? Batteries? Tire rotation? Body repair? Guaranteed? Complete engine overhauls? Okay, they check out.
Utility trailers, snowmobile trailers, and much more. Did you know we stock a full line of Heinecker snowplows? While you're here, shop the largest selection of Mahindra tractors in the area. Don't forget about our service center, ready to tackle jobs of any size. Wittes Trailer Sales in Esco, where customers become friends.
I'd rather have a
And
tab.
back here at the you want to run a tab? Is that what you said?
No, I'd rather have a tab. I mean,
just
you can't get tab anymore.
So back here at the at Proctor Pizza and Sub Shop, Main Street, Proctor, we just got done talking with Al Young, post commander of Post 137. That's moving up here to Proctor, and I think that's going to be pretty cool, and it's going to be a pretty good thing for our community.
I think it's great.
Yep.
I'm excited.
I am too. Well, right now we're going to kind of backtrack because we got Eric Bingham with us now, and you sit on the puck committee at the city, and we just want to maybe see Tim's really worried about whether or not he can flush his toilet when he gets home, and if that's going to cause an entire city backup or not.
Special assignment.
That would be a special assignment.
Disclaimer right now, folks. Tim Roweeder will be on special assignment next week.
So, you know, we have this big water issue going on with all the melting and the amount of water going into the ground and stuff. What kind of information can you give the listeners?
You know, let's start out with this. I know there's been a lot of misinformation today. Even KQ this morning was saying, well, with this water shortage, fill up your bathtub because then you'll have extra water. It's not a matter of a water shortage. We're trying to limit what's going into the sewer right now. With this warm weather and all the snow we got this year, it was great. We almost broke a record, but now we're paying for it on the other end of this now because our sewers are completely full. You know, residents have been backing up in their basements between groundwater, sewage. It all depends on kind of where you're at right now. And hopefully, you know, in the next couple days, everything might settle up a little bit here. WSSD could hopefully catch up with the treatment of this and open up our lines again.
I have a question that Ted brought up earlier, and he said, Ted, I'm not a plumber. He goes, if the water and everything goes into a pipe, doesn't the pipe roll downhill? Why is it backed up?
Well, WLSSD is at max capacity now, too. I mean,
So they got it blocked off down there is what you're saying.
It's not blocked off. It's just the inflow what they have.
Oh,
I don't know
gotcha.
the exact numbers, but let's say, they get 1 million gallons a day right now, and now they're up to probably 15 million gallons a day that's
Gotcha.
coming through there right now. So the capacity isn't there to handle all this water right now.
Gotcha.
And like I say, unfortunately, we had a very fast melt. It went from a nice slow melt to, bam, here we are in 70, 80 degrees, and it hurt us.
3 days. 3 days, my driveway's clean.
Yep, mine too.
I had ice this thick, and in 3 days, it's gone. So, yeah, that speed melt has just been, it's been good but brutal.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people, too. I've talked to a few people, I should say, that are getting water coming into their walls and into their foundations, and the best thing you can do right now is if you have snow close to your house, if you can get out and shovel, get 3 feet away from your house, 4 feet. Just get that snow away from your foundation so it's not melting out. Your sump pump, get that line away from the house so you're not just recycling water back and forth. Unfortunately, I had this happen last year with my foundation. We found out the hard way I had a crack and it flooded our basement right down in my office area. And we found a crack in the wall, and I would have never known unless we had that melt last year. I'm sure a lot of people are finding out this year. Cracks in foundations, drain tiles not sufficient, sump pumps failing. Something to keep an eye on. We're going to be stuck with this, I'd say, for a couple more weeks now with this melting. So, even if the sewage catches up, we're still going to have groundwater to deal with until the frost comes out. And
I'm pumping mine out to Tim's house.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, I actually, I've been checking mine every morning, checking the basement before I leave. And I actually left the house today and got to school and went, oh, I didn't check it. So I texted Hunter and said, hey, dude, check the basement. All I get back from him is 2 question marks. I'm like, why else would I have you check the basement? So I'm like, go check to see if we have water. Yep. He goes, nope, we're all good, and the sump pump is doing its thing. So, yeah, I get it. It's going to be a tough deal for a couple weeks until the ground dries up. We don't normally have what we have right now. I mean, and not even from the amount of snow. But just the fact that November snow came and the ground didn't freeze.
Correct.
So water is just going straight in on that top layer, and instead of being able to run off a little bit to other places. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yep.
I heard from a realtor friend of mine once that there's no such thing as a basement that doesn't leak in this area.
Pretty much.
And if you say you have a basement that doesn't leak, you're lying.
I wasn't going to say that because when you say stuff like that, you jinx it.
Say like what? My basement's leaking like crazy right now.
That's because I'm pumping my water to your house.
That's awesome. That's because it's all going to your place.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm higher. You're lower.
By the way, mine's coming to your house as well.
Good.
Just FYI. So, well, very cool. Thank you for clarifying that. And I hadn't heard that on KQ, but if KQ's doing that, they should really kind of think about.
I filled my tub.
It was earlier this morning.
You filled your tub? Awesome. No, maybe you should take a bath with it.
Yeah. I don't need much water for my bath.
I had to. Sorry. It was there. It was open.
Oh, boy.
You can hang out or you can take off. Yep. We're just going to jump in. One of the sports things that we walked past was the Minnesota Twins, who are sitting 8-4, 7-3 in the last 10, and came up with a great finish today to get a win and sweep the White Sox.
They didn't sweep. They lost the first.
Well, sorry, season sweep.
Yeah.
Or series sweep. And they didn't sweep. Yes, I apologize.
Is Buxton still healthy? That's a win.
That is a huge win. And, him hitting that dinger the other day, helped out a lot. His 100th, yeah. Was fun to watch. Are you watching any Twins these days?
No,
baseball.
Tim. No, Ted. I don't have time to watch baseball. I got 2 jobs, man.
I do too.
And then I go to bed.
But I still have this little portable computer.
I stayed up and watched the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I shouldn't have, but
I'm sorry. That should have been more of a funeral.
So you put down new rules for baseball. Let's talk new rules.
New rules.
There's new rules?
Yeah, dude. I got to tell you, the first one I'm going to tell you that I'll take pitch clock. You can take any of the others. I don't care. You can.
Okay.
I am loving. I didn't think I was going to like this pitch clock. I really didn't. But I got to tell you, watching a baseball game from end to end in 240, 245 max, I can dig that. I mean, when you and I went down to the game on Friday last week, and we were able to get in and get out of there, we spent more time, I think, in the parking ramp trying to leave.
You know,
than
he
we
didn't
did
think
at
you'd
the
want to
game.
go.
Huh?
I didn't say that.
He's like, Tim's probably not going to want to go.
I never said that. Thanks a lot.
You
really
said that.
didn't, but
I would never say that. Deuces. Anyways, so
He was afraid he's going to have to go by himself.
that's not afraid. I just would have went by myself. That would have
see, the
been.
thing is, he needs someone to hold the leash.
Shut up. Shut up.
He has one of those harnesses
Shut
on.
it. Shut it. Okay, hold on. Where is the mute button? There it is. He's talking about how the fact that I love what I do when it comes to broadcasting and PA work, because then I don't have to sit amongst the masses, which is much better for me because I don't do well with impolite, ignorant people.
You know those commercials where the guy takes people out in public to, you know,
The
teach them
Allstate
how to be
commercials
a-
or whatever?
Yeah.
That's like taking him to a game. I got to, Ted, that's not how you do it. You don't push
Hey.
the guy over when he cuts in front of you. You don't.
That was not a cut-in. He tried to take me out. That was fair game. Sorry. You're never going to get me to change that one. But it was a great game. I like that pitch clock. I love how it is sped up. But it doesn't feel like you're losing the game.
Right.
You just feel like you're losing all the do that added another hour and 15 minutes to it.
Yeah, all the batting glove adjusting and all that stuff. Just
Hey,
get up
watch.
there and hit.
I'm going to throw over to first 97 times. Or I'm going to, as a batter, I'm going to step out and adjust the gloves every pitch. I really like this whole new.
I'm not a big fan of the two pickoffs, though. I mean, that to me changes the game.
I think it's a waste of time. I think you
pickoffs?
Yeah. Oh no. In the aspect of I don't think you need to have 27 of them for the same guy. He's either going to go or he's not. And if you've already thrown 26 times, I'm guessing he's not going on the 27th.
True.
I'm just.
Do you know what I'd do?
What?
I'd go on the 27th just because Ted said I wouldn't do it.
They're going to get you out anyway, dude. You're going to be like 3 steps from first.
But
They're
you know
gonna,
what? They made the bases bigger, so it's a shorter distance.
It
now.
is.
See? So
Yeah,
there's
3 inches bigger.
Ted, we got a fighting chance. Tim and I got a fighting chance of stealing a base.
It's
The
3
distance is 6 inches less.
3 inches bigger. 3 inches. Anyways, I digress. So how do you feel about the base paths? I mean, how do you feel about that and the hitter's clock? I mean, they kind of coincide a little bit with the pitching clock or as in the hitter's clock, but
Because the hitter has to be ready with 8 seconds left, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like
like
a.
that.
Yeah, I do too. In that whole step out, you can only call time once. And the thing I've liked about how they're doing time now is that if you're watching these hitters, it's really in that depth of the pitch count where they're taking that time to, okay, let's get some information from the dugout. Let's figure out what's probably going to come here so they can really be ready instead of, wasting it up front or just wanting to step out.
Yeah, and it's that it didn't change the game, the clock, I don't think. A lot of people say it did, but it didn't.
Yeah.
But the bases, I don't think, changed the game. So I mean, I don't know that it's.
Well, no, what changed the game was the shift.
Yeah,
To me, what changed the game and took baseball out of baseball was being able to put every defensive player on the first base or the third base side of the infield and outfield.
Mm-hmm.
That's what changed. I love the fact that they took that shift away. And this is such a great conversation right now because all I'm doing is watching Chad and his facial expressions of, I have nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can change the subject so you can play later.
No, I'm fine.
But
it's like watching tennis.
Yeah, but I love the fact that they took that shift out and they're making players play, and I think that's gonna be not only great for runners, but it's also going to go back to giving us some highlights and some Sports Center pieces of great diving catches and things like that. Solano had a great ranger to his right in the third or the fourth yesterday. That if they were playing the shift, you'd have never seen that kind of a play and seen that a guy like that can make that range. You just go, oh, he's playing first, big deal.
You said something the other day that I didn't think about, but it's true. You know, the last couple of years with the shift, the first to third on a base hit to right, just didn't happen.
Right.
Because there's a guy there on the shift, you know.
Yeah, and then it took it away, and now you're seeing that. I mean, Vasquez hit that one in the 9th last night, or the 8th? 9th, I believe it was. Off the wall, both the players went for in right center, and I mean, he almost beat that out in the shift. He was not trying for 3. That was not happening. He'd be lucky if he was trying for 2 in that case. You know, so I just like the fact that they've went back to traditional style of baseball with players being positioned. You got to, you know, if you're first and second, you've got to be on that right-hand side of the bag. You're short and third, you got to be on that left-hand side of the bag. And you can't be playing outfield depth, you know, and be another outfielder. You have to be in the dirt. You can't be in the grass whatsoever. And I just think that's going to make the game that much stronger.
Hey, Twins have a new ticket deal, too.
I don't know if they still have that anymore.
You know?
I think that was a limited time, but I mean, you could go and look it up. But it was crazy, $49 a month, so like a monthly subscription, and you got a standing room only ticket for every game. You could just show up. So like if you want to go stand at one of the bar rails at one of the upper deck bars or whatever, it didn't have a limit except for you couldn't go into the Legends or the Delta Club or like right behind home plate or anything like that. Yeah. But any of the standing room bar rails, anything, you could just show up and go stand there. So if you got there early enough, you could be front row center field for every home game for $49 a month.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's not a bad ticket price.
No, especially if you live in the metro area.
Yeah.
Well, we figured, like, let's say they have an average, which it's more than this, but an average of 10 home games a month.
Yeah.
$4.90 a ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, and even if you did that you spent $200 and got a family of 4, you're not getting that for any other sport to go and watch your hometown team for as many games as you could fit in.
Yeah, no.
You know.
But it's the $7 prop that kills you.
Well, but
and
again,
the $18 nachos.
Yeah.
But again, remember, it's something that you didn't realize, that if you can train your family to do it right, you can bring in your own water.
Yep.
You can bring in your own water bottles. You can bring in your own food. You can bring in sandwiches and snacks and everything that they let you bring in to the ballpark. So if you like have a deal, maybe there's 4 home games this week, and you say, okay, Billy, we're going to go to all 4 if you want to go, but we're going to bring food for 3 of them, and then we'll go crazy on the 4th one. You know, you could really make something happen there and still be way below budget compared to if you were paying regular price.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know, 'cause, I mean, think about it. We paid $44 a seat. And for a month, for those tickets, you could have had $49 for every home game for the month.
Yeah, why don't you buy me that one?
Because I kind of like you, not totally like you. So, but yeah, so that is a cool little ticket deal. I don't know if they still have it available, but you know, it's pretty cool. We'll be back down there on the 20th the 30th. I'm sorry. So.
Why are you pointing at me? Am I down there?
Oh, well, unless you don't want to go.
Oh, okay.
So. April 30th.
All right.
I'll be choosing our seats here coming up sometime this week when I get a hold of Sadie.
Hey, when do the Timberwolves play again?
Wait, I thought they were out.
No,
I don't know. I'm trying to follow along.
I'm just kidding.
Well, the Pelicans and Thunder play tonight, so
Friday night?
No, I think it's either Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
Good.
Too many days of rest, in my opinion. Just travel and play. Let's go.
I concur.
You know, one of those 2 teams aren't going to go far anyway.
Not playing Denver.
Yeah.
Not in a 7-game series against Denver.
They're tough.
So the Timberwolves played the Lakers. Timberwolves were what seed? They were
playing for the 7 seed, and if they would have won, then they would their first round matchup would be against the Memphis Grizzlies.
So Lakers are in the playoffs now.
They're the 7th seed.
Lakers are the 7th seed.
And now they're going to play for the 8th seed.
Yeah.
3 teams battling for 8.
3 teams battling for 1 spot.
Okay.
Good times.
I'm starting to get it.
And the winner, you know, if the Timberwolves beat either the Pelicans or the Thunder, then they have to go play the Denver Nuggets. And there's, in my opinion, that's probably Denver wins that 4-1, would be my guess. I don't see the Timberwolves winning more than 1 game against Denver.
I don't see.
They're beat up. They're hurt. I
don't see the Pelicans winning.
I see the Thunder beating the Pelicans, and I see the Thunder probably dispatching the Timberwolves pretty easy.
I don't think the Thunder beats the Pelicans.
I do.
Memphis eliminated us last year?
Yes.
Yes.
And they went pretty deep, right?
Third round?
Yeah, I think they went to the third round.
Something like that.
The favorites in my eyes right now to win the NBA title is Boston. It'll always be Boston in my eyes. Boston's playing very well right now. Milwaukee, I mean, Giannis is Giannis. Embiid will probably end up being the MVP this year of the league. Philly's got a shot. I mean, really in the Western Conference, you got Denver, Memphis, and Phoenix. It's how the ball bounces. You especially with like Phoenix, Durant needs to be healthy, and they need to get a bounce here or there to go their way. I would love to see Phoenix win a title this year just for Chris Paul.
Yeah.
But my heart is always going to cheer for the Celtics.
Boston in the NHL too has been breaking records. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Good year for Boston.
Well, and as Minnesota sports fans, how do our franchises get to that level? We just kind of seem to take a step forward, and then, we just make silly transactions. We traded 9 players for Rudy Gobert. And then they suspend them for a game they needed them to play in, And I get it. You punch the teammate. But
And if you look at the record, we're 2 games better than we were last year in the exact same spot doing the exact same stuff with that trade.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost picture for picture from last year to this year with that trade.
I honestly think that you're going to, when the season starts the next season, you're going to see a lot of different faces on the Timberwolves roster. I don't see. I see Anthony Edwards as being untouchable. Rudy Gobert is not going to go anywhere because we're not going to get anything for him. But I would not be surprised if Karl Anthony Towns was moved.
Yeah, I'm with that. But we've been talking about that for a year, but nobody wants to touch him because of injury.
But I think he gets moved. I honestly do. I can go back and go, I wish the Timberwolves wouldn't have traded Zach LaVine. To Chicago. I wish they wouldn't have traded KG to the Celtics.
Right.
Kevin Garnett is still arguably the best player to ever play for this franchise. And he did twice.
Not Ricky Rubio?
Okay, they drafted Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn against ahead of a guy that's got 4 rings that, probably got himself a real nice pad out there in, Oakland, San Francisco area. By the name of Steph Curry. They drafted 2 other point guards ahead of that guy.
Yep.
That doesn't mean he would have stayed here after his rookie contract. But, you never know.
Yeah. You never know what that picture would have looked like. You just don't know what that looks like. But you're right. I mean, our franchises across the board have done some things that we all just sit there and go, huh?
Yeah, the Twins trading David Ortiz to Boston.
Yeah, but they always did that. I mean, whether it was Ortiz, Minkiewicz, whoever, everybody, it was cool. As a Boston fan, it was cool because they always took the players I was really happy about.
Yeah.
So I never lost out on that battle,
the only one I guess I could get excited about was Knobloch getting traded.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he had the yips. Yeah. He couldn't make a throw. He couldn't make a throw anyway.
And then when he got to New York, it got worse.
Yeah. Hey,
poor ladies in the front row.
Yeah, just got drilled. Hey, speaking of New York, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but so New York this year has their primary bat boy has
long hair,
has just some amazing flow, right? Which is absolutely, I think Steinbrenner is rolling over in his grave because that's, I mean.
Yeah, he didn't even allow facial hair.
No, Johnny Damon had to clean straight up when he got there and everything else, because that's the view of the pinstripes, right? But I saw that today and I was like, oh my goodness. And I mean, like down to here, like veg. I was like, crazy.
Oh yeah, he had flow.
Oh, big time. He would have made an all-hair team. That's
he definitely would have made one of my all-hair teams.
Oh yeah, because you don't have any.
Exactly.
All right.
That was mean.
So what you're saying is honesty is mean now. Got it. Perfect. The one thing I wanted to touch about Major League Baseball just real quick is, and Tim, you can jump in on this as well, is, how about them Rays? 11-0. Still undefeated. I know
162 game season. You can't get that
I
excited.
get that, but
If it was the NFL, I'd get excited.
Yeah, she's a marathon, not a
Yeah.
sprint.
Well, and I get that though, but for a team that I thought would not really be on a map this year after last year and stuff, they've really they're playing the game well, especially in a less than desirable stadium. Let's just say.
I don't think you can judge MLB teams until middle of May, at least.
Middle May?
Yeah.
I'd go a little longer, but I was just saying it's kind of cool that they're 11-0.
Yeah.
I wasn't,
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Well, here's a question. Since you said, football, you said if it was football season, with the NFL draft coming up, do us as Minnesota Vikings fans, do we actually have a shot at trading for Lamar Jackson? Do we draft a quarterback?
I don't want him.
We don't want him.
I honestly,
I don't.
Kirk Cousins
is a good quarterback.
Yes. I think if we get the right people around him, he'll
I agree.
Yeah, but what's the news that I've seen the last couple of days? News coming out about a possible trade package with Kirk.
Yeah, that's all clickbait on Facebook, though.
Well, this was on an ESPN post.
Yeah,
but
they don't know anything.
Yeah, they're dumb. Schefter doesn't know his butt from his foot. That's
Well,
crazy.
what trade? Okay.
Well, it didn't give more information. It just
Is that
talked
the one
about,
to San Francisco for Trey Lance?
Oh my gosh.
God, no, I hope not.
Okay, if you could have any quarterback in the NFL right now be the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, who are you taking?
Well, Mahomes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take Patrick.
Or either Mahomes or the Chargers guy.
Herbert?
Yeah.
I would. I would take. Why am I drawing a blank? Jacksonville.
Oh. Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor
Sunshine?
Lawrence. I'd take Sunshine.
I want the cat from Cincy.
Yeah.
I want Burrows.
Yeah, Burrows would be good
because he got
too.
enough swag,
Yeah.
swagger there. I'd take him. I mean, you know what's going to happen? Aaron Rodgers is going to get traded to the Jets from the Packers. He's going to play there for a year, and guess what he's going to be wearing in 2 years? He's going to be wearing purple.
Familiar.
He's going to be wearing purple.
He ain't wearing purple.
He's going to wear purple.
Nobody will want that.
Well, we didn't want Favre either, and
I didn't have a problem with
we were
Favre.
one throw away.
And look at what Favre did. He screwed us.
Screwed us big time.
That was all the big plan. That was the whole.
He said, "Watch this. I'm
Yeah.
going to make them feel good about themselves." And because why not? That's what they do. And here's my thing with you when you bring up that guy that used to wear purple, because he's not going to be there this year. First off, nobody is worth $250 million. You guys don't really know who I'm talking about. A certain quarterback.
He's
that
talking
wears
about Aaron
purple.
Rodgers. He's just afraid to say it.
Wrong purple.
Oh, you're talking about Lamar Jackson.
I'm talking about Lamar. First off, nobody's worth 250. The other piece about
Steph Curry got 350.
The other piece with that, because, well, if you look at him playing wise over the last 3 years, he's missed a full season of football.
Yeah.
He is injury prone.
But when he is playing, he's the MVP.
With the money he's going to garner, I don't think a butt is worth it. I just don't. And I'm with you guys. I don't have with the right pieces in place. I don't have a problem with Kirk. Look at his numbers. His numbers speak for themselves. Did he make a bonehead idea? Was it his or was it coaching? Whatever at the end of the season, who knows? We don't know. But at the same time, his numbers speak very well over the last 3 years that he's got good numbers.
And he plays.
Yeah.
He's in there every game. He takes hits.
Iron Man. He takes hits that you look at and go, he's not going to get up, and he gets up and he gets right back into it.
The piece that I want to see gone is Cook. I'm not a big fan of Dell.
I think he's gone. And I don't think he'll be here.
Maybe it'd be like a semi-pro trade. They'll trade him for a new washing machine and.
Well, it would be a better
Cold
return
tub.
on investment right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just not. I'm not. I like Cook, but that's the thing. In this league.
Well, you don't need a $20 million a year running back.
No, because 10 years ago you did, because it was either your primary spot was either your running back or a tandem, and now it's gotten so back to being so pass heavy that you need more.
You need a back that can catch out of the backfield and pass block which
is a Madison.
Yeah.
Madison does that. He does it. He does
Klein saucer.
Oh, Stoney Stonehands himself. He couldn't. The problem with that is he couldn't catch the ball, though. That's why we had the
Mike
nickname.
Alcott?
Pride of North Dakota.
Pride of North Dakota. Old Stonehands. He couldn't catch a pass. I remember one of his first games. He came out of the backfield, came around the right side. You saw it. The camera was in perfect. Stonehands from that day on. And that's what he did.
Stick in his face mask.
He could block, though. He could block like nobody's business, though. But, guys, that's all we
CJ
got.
Ham back for another.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like watching him play.
Yeah. Yeah,
you want me to be
good
quiet?
back.
Is it? You got the mute button?
No, that was me zipping mine. I'm just gonna leave it right there. And no matter what you say or ask or anything, I'm not gonna do it. Nope, not gonna do it. Anyway,
I've never made you be quiet before, so
you're welcome.
This is weird.
It is kind of odd, isn't it? So, anyways, you guys got anything else outside of our schedule that we had?
No, other than, it's always great to sit down with you guys and have conversations.
Absolutely. I love this. I love that we get to do this and that we want to do this and that we have the platform to be able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully people enjoy it.
Yeah,
if
hopefully.
not, well, we'll still do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
we'll
folks,
do it till somebody likes it.
I know that I'm pretty sure that right now we've got 3 that are watching or listening, that is. And I'll guarantee you that one of them is Spencer Maida. And no matter what, Spencer will always be on and he'll always be listening because he always tunes in.
That's awesome.
So,
does he give you any good feedback? Or
I wish he would, but he's kind of that silent assassin that just doesn't have much to say, but he'll take you out when you're not looking.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's like, today I'm sitting at the desk and I'm working on something while they're in their groups, and all of a sudden I hear a tap, and all of a sudden he's just standing at the table, and I'm like, you could have used your words and I would have known you were here. Oh, I had time.
Need to give him some Tic Tac.
So,
or a ring of keys.
Yeah. Folks, if you want to be part of what we have going on, remember you can always send us messages on the YouTube. Also, if you have topics that you want us to cover or you want to be part of the show, shoot us an email. Go to RailsTV.net. Our email is right there under the About page. Send us some information, and we would love to see, because, Chad, you talked earlier, we don't always know what's going on in the community. We don't know, not everybody knows what's out there. If we don't know, we can't share it. So if you have something that you want to make public and get out into the airways, please let us know, because we would love to make that part of what we have going on.
Absolutely, I agree.
So, Tim, got anything?
Nope, just I'm getting hungry too.
That's it. All right,
I'm thinking super nachos.
I'm thinking chicken bacon ranch.
Oh, yeah, that's
wrap.
right.
Let's go.
That's right, folks. During the broadcast, Ted was
hand signaling.
Thought
he was calling a play. Or
I was. It was the chicken bacon ranch wrap.
My sister comes over with a notebook with words written on everything on it.
No, 2 of them, no tomato.
So I thought it said everything all right. Like he was doing, having some sort of medical.
I was trying to land a plane right here. Maybe that's not a joke we should have after the experiences of last fall. But whatever, planes, buildings, locally.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, we were talking about that in school today for some reason. Don't know why.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Pillows?
Those aren't pillows.
Like I said, pillows. Anyways, on behalf of myself, Tim, and Chad, we're going to be back here next week, Wednesday, right here from Proctor Pizza and Sub Shop, Main Street, Proctor. Also, check Friday, Saturday-ish, and we hopefully will have our schedule drop for our broadcast for the spring. Again, it'll be a little bit smaller than normal just because games have gotten pushed, rescheduled, and it's really hard, folks, and I know you want us to do them all, but it is really hard to try to make sure we can schedule our students as well as they have to give their schedules to employers and other things. So we will do our best to get in what we can, and that's all we can do. So on behalf of me, myself, and these 2 guys over here that you can't see because this is not a visual medium, thanks for stopping.
Right.
We'll be back on air next Wednesday right here. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.
We're at a crossroads. From time to time, a section of rail needs repair, but that doesn't mean the whole line needs replacement. The same way being proud of your history doesn't mean you're stuck in the past. No, we're not stuck. We hear the whistle blowing and we're inspired. Inspired by the legacy of the people who transformed this terrain into a rail yard that supplied America with the ore needed to win world wars. We're inspired by our unshakable identity, hanging tight like David facing down Goliaths, and we're moved by stories of our community's kindness. No matter who needs help, neighbors pitch in and get the job done. Hushed and humbled are more at play than pontification, but don't for 1 second think that means Proctor is a simple small town. It was built as a company town, and it continues down the tracks of time. And this rail revival is our destination.